Welcome to another episode of Loncar Live. Been looking forward to this episode for a while. Long time coming to have Ryan on, and what perfect timing to have him on the week of his 100,000 YouTube subscribers, man. What a boss. What a boss. If you guys don't know Ryan Depaulo, he is known as Ryan Depaulo Degenerate on YouTube. And there's a reason he just hit 100,000 subscribers on YouTube organically. And, he's just one of the best, if not the best, YouTube vlogger out there in the poker scene. Super entertaining. Just absolutely no F's given all the time, which is what I've always loved about him. Always just, the number one thing people say to me about him, they love about Ryan, is that he is just real. He's the real deal. And so obviously it's going to be awesome to talk to Ryan today about his journey, how he got to where he is today as not only an America's Cardroom Team Pro, but a big-time poker YouTube vlogger, and his personal life, and all of it. Ryan, mother shuck in the house. What's up, man? But yeah, it's going to be a fun one. And me and Ryan, one of the OG ACR Team Pros, along with me here today. We've been on the ACR team for quite a minute, for a few years now. We've had a number of free roll challenges with each other, and it's been awesome watching his channels grow and watching him do his thing. And I've always loved his sense of humor, and I'm sure you guys are gonna love him too. I know most of you already know him, and if you know him, you know it's gonna be one hell of an entertaining show. So without further ado, let's get into it. Mr. Ryan Depaulo in the hizzy. Let's go. There he is. There he is. I love the shades. How you doing, man?
Good. Extra cool because 100K. That's why I got the shades on.
There
but no,
congrats, man.
Thanks. Could you amp up how entertaining I'm gonna be any more time? Can I curse?
Let me go back to the monologue scene. Give me 2 more minutes. Hold on a second. How you doing, man? Welcome in. Thanks for being here today.
Good, dude. Wait, am I allowed to curse?
You can say anything you want.
Cunt. So no, I'm good. I'm excited, man. Yeah, as you said, 100,000 subscribers on YouTube is the biggest thing going on with me. It's cool to be on your show. It's cool anytime someone who's a little bit self-centered gets to talk about themselves, like me in this case. So
well, yo, congrats again, man. Just to clarify, I should have said it. No fucks given, Ryan Depaulo. There we go. So you can say whatever you want on the show. There's no nothing you can hold back. Don't hold back at all. And yo, welcome in everybody. Ryan Depaulo's in the house. He's a last minute DJ just like me. He was apologizing because I was like, okay, let's get on here in about 10 minutes. He's like, oh shit, I'm racing home. Let's make it 20. I'm like, okay, good. I need 20 anyways because we're both two men of the same nature. But yeah, we're here. We're live. And yeah, man, as I was saying to you right before we came on stream, what a perfect time to have you on. You hit 100,000 subscribers on YouTube yesterday or the day before?
yeah, yesterday. Yeah,
Sick.
I woke up yesterday and had it. Yeah, it's been it's been a big goal for a while, and it's the coolest thing. Well, second coolest thing I've done ever. But yeah.
And I don't even have to ask this, but I have to ask, what's the coolest thing you've ever done?
Stopping. I don't. Maybe a personal achievement. I'll say it vaguely. Like
we'll leave it at that. It at that. Well, yeah, man. Well, welcome in, and again, thanks for coming on. It's a long time coming. I've been looking forward to this for a minute. And as always, before we jump into all your successes and things that are going on right now with your YouTube channel, which I know we're going to talk a lot about, I want you to bring, just right off the bat, I want you to bring us back to young Ryan, teenage Ryan. Tell us about how you got into poker, how you started YouTube vlogging and like the beginning process of that, and how that idea came about. Bring us way back to the younger years and your poker journey and everything.
All right, word. Yeah, well, so it's like a hybrid journey because for me, the poker has come out of being like creative sort of and making videos. I've always been both degenerate and creative, or like loved poker for a while. But so I grew up in New York City and went to performing arts high school. The movie Fame is about my high school. Like you have to audition to get in. It's a public school, but you have to be, you have to be, as talented as me to get in. But no, seriously, like a bunch of people like went there, like, you know, like infinity. But yeah, the movie fame is about it, you know, like I don't even want to start naming people because it's I'll forget some. But anyway, fucking like so I went for acting, but I was a punk, really. I like just skateboarded and like I didn't um try, but I definitely absorbed some stuff through osmosis. And I've always been in like the creative environment. I'm lucky. I got to grow up in New York City and go to an awesome school like that. So anyway, then it was like in high school, a lot of people don't really gamble because you don't have money yet quite so much. Like I liked card games and games, but mostly it was like football. I like would do little pools with my friends, maybe I was like, yo, let's pick every game against the spread, just us, like $10 each, and see who of the three of us wins, like minor stuff.
Just for the
And
rush of
then
gambling.
just for the rush of gambling, and I loved football at the time. And then poker, I didn't really get into it until I was 20. Well, I guess I started to get into it. This isn't old. This is probably normal age. I was 21, living in a 10-bedroom share in Chinatown. It was illegal housing. It used to be a brothel, literally.
Wow.
And this French kid, Sylvan, who was like, you know, they do like 3 month like ghetto subtract sub. I don't even know what the term is. I'm not even using the right term, but like it was like a month to month shithole with rats in the ceiling. And
Okay, so wait. So it was a brothel before you moved into it. It was
yeah,
previously a brothel.
sorry. Yes, I
You
was not
didn't
a
live in an
working.
actual brothel. I just want to
I
clarify.
was not a working whore or a
Okay.
permanent John.
Okay.
Yes.
I was making sure. Okay.
Sorry if I didn't clarify. It used to be a brothel, and you could
Okay.
tell by the layout because 8 of the rooms had no window to the outside, and the showers were like group showers. Like it was like female showers with 3, and then male showers with 3. It was a horror show. And anyway, so I started getting into poker then because it's around when I turned 21. I saw my friend or a roommate Sylvan, this French kid. Who was a lot of fun. And he was playing full tilt and a $2 like 90 per a $3 90 person sit and go. And it was like first place was like $100. And I was like, oh my God, dude. Like I had played once live with my friends. I didn't really understand the game, but I was like, that is sick. Like, let me play. And I played on his account for like 2 days. And then after the third day, I was like, let me get your computer. He's like, make your own account, you idiot. And then and then so I started playing like full tilt, but I was not very sober at the time, I guess you could say. So I was I'd fall asleep while playing like multi-table tournaments. I was playing micro stakes very poorly. Interrupt me if you have any questions. If I make it sound like I was a whore again and you
No,
and
no,
you
no.
need
I guess the only
clarification.
the only thing I want to ask is you're talking about like when you're 21. How old are you right now? I don't even know how old you are.
35.
We're both 35. It's a great age. I didn't realize we're the same age. Hell yeah.
Yeah, we both look good. Well, you look good.
We both look great. We both look
I'm
great.
depreciating, but
Keep going. Keep going. This is great.
so yeah, 21 playing on his account, multi-account cheating. No, he's like, make your own fucking account. I make my own account. I'm playing very, very poorly, like not really knowing what I'm doing, but I like love poker. No study, just like
So you're
start
just kind of
playing it.
self-taught at this point, just kind of going with the flow, like maybe catching a couple things from friends' tips and just kind of learning the game as you go at this point.
No friends even. Like
just
I was
purely
gambling,
self-taught,
horrible. But I didn't
just
even
going.
learn anything. I like cashed 1 super turbo, like my old account, my full tilt Wise Jadakiss is just all down, and then I like binked a super turbo, high on a bunch of drugs, and then like broke even after that. I learned a little bit maybe from self-taught, but I was trash. So then and one quick funny story about that period, speaking of the right combo of drugs while you're playing, just really quick. There was one night I was playing heads up sit and goes on Ambien, and if you fight Ambien, Pat, you get like it's a weird like fun thing. Like normally they say I don't recommend trying this at home. I do recommend this, but not playing poker, where I literally thought in this like trip or effect, if you fight the sleeping pill and stay up, I'm playing a heads up sit and go, and I like so clearly knew God wanted me and my opponent to pool our chips together, and he can have them so we can win more. and I called off with like 4 deuce off literally, and I was like, I cannot play on drugs. Anyway, all right, so fast forward, I like kind of stopped playing poker for a while. Black Friday, I was like not even playing when that happened anyway. And then years later, like casually looped back to it. Like would I started playing when I got interested again a couple years later. So at this time, I'm maybe 25 now.
Okay.
So 10 years ago, it'd be 2012. I find in Long Island City and Queens an underground tournament. I never really liked playing. I played a couple times at the underground cash games. Again, I'm a losing horrible player at this point. And not horrible. I have some clue, I guess, to whatever extent, like the guys you see at casinos who just have pieced it together on their own, they're not totally trash, you know?
Okay. Okay.
But so I found a tournament, a freeze out, $60 weekly in Queens on Sunday nights, and first place would end up being like $1,100. And I didn't even really have a job at the time. So it was like often 1/3 of what I had in the bank account, but I'd go play that every Sunday for a while. And I met a bunch of people, started getting better, a little bit from learning, seeing things they did. Like I remember one time realizing the best player there was always really going like check raising when he would turn a draw, and the little things like that I started picking up, but I was no clue of what I was doing otherwise, like truly, even though I won it a couple times. And then fast forward a couple years, I'm like still kind of playing that, falling a little low with it. Then I start getting back into it, still casually. Maybe the most I ever studied it was look at Jonathan Little's site a couple times. Go to Borgata once. I cashed a tournament like Hendon Mobworthy before any of my vlog poker really started. And so I then started making YouTube videos, like and I didn't really include this in the track as I said I would. I've mostly just talked about poker, but whatever.
So yeah, were your first YouTube videos that you made poker related, or were they something else?
No, I started making so I've always wanted to do some creative shit on the side. Like I always knew that I could be okay doing any job that I didn't really like. And I'm lucky to have nepotism and be from a Brooklyn union thug father who was involved in the Broadway unions, who was able to give me good jobs, great jobs, but not what I wanted to do. But I knew that if I could be happy doing that stuff very much so if I was doing something creative on the side, like auditioning or a podcast or some creative thing that in a small percentage may turn into something, and whatever that looked like, right? So at first I was doing this shitty podcast for a while. Then I was like looking into auditioning, getting back into acting. And then I was like watching YouTube videos, and I was like, yo, I'm funnier than some of these channels I watch. I thought I could do this. So I started making horrendous, just throwing stuff up. Not for a very long time, a couple months, but like one of my first vlogs on my channel now says vlog 13, because I had made 12 like 4-minute horrendous, like not entertaining vlogs before that. Just about different random stuff. Like I dubbed a Mario cartoon in one of them, like random shit. And then I hit on one where, and again, interrupt me. I know I'm just talking.
No, this is great. Keep going. Keep going. No, this is great.
So Ryan is so good. 99% of the people.
I know, I was gonna read that loud, Mother Shucker. Mother Shucker in the chat. Ryan is so good. 99% of the people who tell this exact same story are now homeless.
I know.
It's a lot of truth to that.
Yeah, no, I've gotten lucky a lot of times. So yeah, now I should say when I return to Long Island City, there's no longer drugs in the picture, like or like I'm getting it together in that way. By the way,
and obviously I gotta say, like I've been to New York twice now for like 7 to 10 days both times, and spent a lot of time in Manhattan, and I spent some time in these underground card rooms you're talking about, and the games were so good. They were so good that I was aware that they were pulling $20 to $25 in rake off of a 1-2 game where people were buying in for like 1,000 to 2,000, and I was aware like they're pulling that much off the table, and yet it's still a really good game because they were just these like rich business guys coming down. You could tell they didn't give a F about losing 1,000 or 2 and just going crazy and never folding and playing every hand. That's how you know a game is good. If it's a 1-2 game and the house is pulling $25 a hand, you're like, this is still profitable, very profitable. It's crazy though. It was a very unique, interesting feel. It's probably the most interesting games I've ever played in. Like third story of this like abandoned out from the outside looks like it's like an abandoned apartment building. Kind of shady, but kind of cool. I enjoyed it. I'm sure
Do you
you have a
remember
lot.
what neighborhood it was in?
Gosh, like I remember two of them were like right in the heart of Manhattan, like not too
Yeah.
far from like the like the center, like that center screen, like that
Yeah,
mecca.
from Times Square.
Yeah, like the heart of Times Square. There was one that was like 4 blocks from there. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, you've probably been
Yeah,
there.
no, yeah, may have. They would move a little bit, and I didn't play cash a lot, and also my game wasn't like I always was more interested in tournaments, and I didn't really like cash, but I was aware. Also the big problem with me is, and I know you're more naturally a nit, whatever. I'm more if there's a prototype, if there's two people, right, you're more nit able, and I'm more spew like a fucking idiot able. So playing in those games where you just need to play straightforward was a lot less interesting to me than like learning tournaments,
Yep.
and also I could lose more money that way at first when I was like, restart whatever. I didn't have money really. So,
No,
but yeah, no, those,
tournaments are like a way to like kind of control the bankroll, right? Like
yeah,
cash
yeah,
games,
and
you can just
I
go crazy and reload and spew off and just go crazy. Whereas tournaments are like, okay, I can spew with these little chips for $20 or $50 or whatever it is, and it's not so painful. I know what you mean.
I always felt like once I bought in, yeah, this is how my whole mentality was, and I think it's accurate. I was like, once I buy in, I'm not. If I think a spot's good, I'll go for it fearlessly. Like whereas cash, I was so irresponsible and had no bankroll that I was thinking of the dollar amount that I'm bluffing
Yep.
with.
And honestly, I
But
think that's exactly what you're saying is why I think I know so many people personally that are like massive tournament crushers because they just have gas pedal down and aggression wins tournaments, and then they don't realize that it's not bad luck. They're not running bad. They're actually like big time losing cash game players. I know so many people that fit that bill because
yeah,
they don't know how to shift gears, and like you do have to be a little more careful and like patient in cash games. Whereas like tournaments, you can kind of be more gas pedal down and get lucky and win a big pot and win a tournament. Whereas like that's not really the case in cash games. It's
yeah,
just not the case.
no, yeah, the style lends itself to that, and I guess, well, maybe at the end of this, but I guess we'll continue with my poker path and end up here. But yeah, very recently I've been trying to learn cash, and that has been an adjustment that I've
Yep.
been not looking forward to making. But so anyway, so like I am playing these tournaments. I sometimes played in those cashing, but not really. Then like I had one-handed mob cash. Joey the Mush, who I was friends with, put me on. He was like, he almost didn't want to tell me when PP Poker came out. He was like, I don't know if I should tell you. I was like, what? He's like, yo, you can play poker on your phone. I was like, no way. And then I started playing at work. But but the vlogs, I threw up a bunch of crap. That's what I was talking about. I threw up random videos, and
Yes.
then I made one vlog where Joey and I went to Atlantic City, and then another one, and he won like a video poker jackpot, and a bunch of people watched it. And then I realized, combined with my friend who's like now a pro TikToker, but he's always been a social media, someone from my high school, like in the creative world or whatever the fuck. And he was like, yo, idiot, make your channel about gambling. It's this thing you do all the time. There's an entire built-in audience for it. Focus it on that. And I was like, oh, yo, okay. And so the next week I was like, Joey, we're going to Empire City, which is a local harness racing shithole in Yonkers with video slot. They're not even real slots. But I was started going every week to a casino to make a video. And I was even at the time posting just like unedited video poker footage because it got views. And and then that evolved into being like, all right, I actually, like the 7th episode, I ended up winning a Borgata trophy and finishing third luck boxing a tournament. And some of the comments at that time, with the very small channel I had, maybe 1,000 subscribers, they were like, I didn't even know you played poker. And I was like, yeah. And actually, to come to think of it, I'm going to make a gambling vlog, which I was like already like committed to. I was like, I got to get good at this or DFS, the only two ways to not lose at gambling. Like I need to actually like lean into poker and study, or it's just like I can't sustain it. It's like having a channel Ryan Depaulo heroin addict. You're not going to win. Um,
So it just kind of evolved. It kind of evolved and kind of naturally happened. It wasn't like
then luck box, yeah, exactly. Then the
it's
fast
crazy.
forward version is just like from there is just that turned into just a lucky run in Colossus, and then because of the reach, I've met people in poker that I otherwise would have never gotten to meet because of the channel, like D-Laz, Danny, my friend. I met him at a meetup game before the Colossus, and then I also met my first coach Chris there, like, and then just that's evolved into, you know, Rob Kuhn, who, like, all these people that I've had unfairly lucky access to through the channel that I could pick their brains about hands and get better and have, I don't know. And then, yeah. And then, dude, it's been crazy.
That's
I mean,
crazy. So
it's
you're just
awesome.
like we're very much alike. Yeah, you're a very go with the flow type of guy. I love that. I love that. And speaking of go with the flow guys, I got to give a big shout right now. Justin Kelly, America's Carding with that massive raid. What's up, everybody? Welcome
Oh,
in. ACR
snap.
show in the house.
What up,
Yeah.
ACR show?
Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. You guys didn't miss much.
Oh,
Right
damn. I
before you
thought
guys
they
came
missed a
on,
lot.
Ryan was talking about the brothel that he was living in. You know, not a whole lot, just, you know, standard stuff that everyone goes through. You know. But yeah, welcome in everybody. We got Ryan Depaulo in the house, and he did live in an apartment building that was previously a brothel before he lived there. That's a true story. And you know, we're just getting to know RDP a little bit better. So yo, welcome in everybody. Appreciate the raid, Justin Kelly. Exclamation point ACR show in the chat. Make sure you check out the America's Cardroom show every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at noon Pacific time. Lots of giveaways, lots of high quality entertainment. Loncar's picks to start the show every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Make sure you guys click on that twitch.tv/America's Cardroom link and check it out. Welcome in, Jay Pena. Welcome in, guys. So yeah, it's very interesting. So I didn't know that your YouTube vlog, I just didn't know. I just presumed, oh, it just started off as like, I'm going to do a poker vlog. But in reality, it was like, I'm going to start a vlog just of random shit. And then you started to see like, oh yeah, like the gambling stuff's catching popularity. People like it. I like it. And like you said, you've merged that into obviously now an ACR Team Pro contract, and you've developed into one hell of a player. I know you're coaching with Rob Kuhn. Definitely put you up on a nice, boost on your game, and I was actually really amazed how fast. I thought you went from like a pretty good player to like, damn, Ryan's got his game down. He's making all these deep runs and making final tables. Like, happened pretty quickly after you started doing some coaching with Rob. Talk about that.
Well, he certainly. Excuse me. He helped me a ton. We've both been lazier than we ought to be, like working together more lately. But and like 2021, I studied less than 2020. But yeah, it was super helpful. Like his coaching, you don't know what you don't know until you get help. First, I want to just piggyback off what you were saying. Yeah, I reverse engineer or like backed into like poker basically. Like I always had dreamed, like most people, I think, when they play casually poorly, to be like good enough to like make it their job maybe one day or something, or you think you just go on a nonstop heater. But I never really thought that was realistic. But yeah, it started with like, I want to do YouTube, and then this thing I already love, so I'll do that. But anyway, Rob helped me immensely, like coaching. So because I'm a YouTuber and poker player, I need to outsource some part of it. And I've edited my own videos, basically 80% of them. Like for a period, I had help with editing. And then again, now like one video recently, and he's working on the next. I'm starting to work with another editor or two.
So people,
But
I talk with YouTube vloggers all the time. It's a shit ton of work behind the scenes to do like an hour-long video. Like that takes a long time, right?
oh yeah, no, yeah. My vlogs take like, I also can get a little too crazy with like adding a Street Fighter sound effect in some certain spot, but like not just like the hack hand history videos. My vlogs, which include a lot of jokes, they need to be like packed to hold people's attention, right? Because people are like, the built-in interest is gambling, but I'm like presenting me more than gambling. I don't always think of it like this, but lately I've thought about it and realized this. So I'm like having to work like more hard to make it like dense and entertaining. And so anyway, that I say all that to say that, yeah, no, my main job is like editor or content creator. And so because of that, because a bunch of my money is poker also, right? Like ACR pays us in partially tournament dollars and entries. I have to not suck at poker to maintain what the channel's about. So I like go in different periods where I've gotten done studying for a while and then focused on YouTube. But Rob came in because well, I knew him from ACR, and it was like, yo, I need to outsource one or the other. I want to keep editing, so I need to fucking get help studying. And he showed me a lot of things that I didn't know, you know, and then just yeah, I wouldn't have won my bracelet without him, because I was channeling my inner Rob that night in the parking lot. Seriously, there were spots I don't even do the plays now again that I was doing then. There were like 30 people left, and I think I 4-bet shoved for like 45 bigs, maybe ace 8 off, like against Miguel Fiesta, like you know, like just shit that I wouldn't normally do. And I don't know, I was just like, what would Rob do? Well, he's the Alex Jones of ICM. He'd be like YOLO and just go for it.
And it worked out, right?
Yeah, and it worked out.
Let's
yeah,
go.
so shout outs to Rob.
Nice. Yeah, he does some sick stuff. He does some sick stuff. And that's what you guys do sometimes.
Streets
sometimes,
poker.
What's that?
No, it's streets poker, and that's what, like, before getting into it with the channel, I was a casual, you know, I'd watch Doug Polk's channel a little bit and like different, like very a little like arm's length away from poker interested, and I thought it was like dead and solved. And then when coming into it and meeting Chris and then Danny, D-Laz and people, I started to realize, no, there's like still street poker exploits that are fun as hell to do. And there's still so much cool edges to be like learned about and explored. And it's not just like this thing. And Rob embodies that like street poker, like type of
no fear
punting. But like, yeah, it's no fear.
No
and
fear.
I could use some fear though. You know, I probably speaking of what I was interested to get into too, and I don't know if you wanted to now or not, but the cash game difference in tournaments that
Yes.
like I need more fear. I don't know, or patience or something, because it's like Katie and I are trying for a kid. I'm meeting the bee pollen, trying to get the sperm count up. Hopefully it pops off soon, but
congrats to you guys.
So congrats for me just re-entering, and right now nothing's happened yet. But if and when it pops off, I know that tournaments is not you know, always going to be a thing live, right? It's like I want to be able to play cash, like, and make my own hours or whatever, a little bit more maybe. And so, and just for vlogging anyway, no, I've never looked at a sim above like 50 big blinds. Really, I have some that are like 75. I don't even look at them shits. So pre-flop, I have no clue. Like the highest like chart that I own is again 75 with ante, and I don't even ever look at that. Like 50 and below is like all I've ever known. And also live, I'm talking here though, is a big difference than online as well, because I'm not playing these cash games online. I'm playing live, where people are not people are not 3-betting. Yeah, they are never 4-betting the ace-5 suited like the solver thinks they should be. So me calling with jacks is just fucking torching, like stuff like that, because they don't have the bluff part. You know, things like that. Exactly. I really, it's a different game.
It is. It really is. It's a major different game. And Justin Kelly says, Ryan, if you fire sperm bullets like you do tourney bullets, you should have no problem making a kiddo. What's up, Justin? Thanks again, man. Much love, brother. And yeah, obviously, like, it's so interesting because there's so many different styles of players that can, like, make money in poker, right? Like, I actually knew a guy in my local city here, Folsom Lake Bowl, which is now not a thing, unfortunately. They got shut down because of COVID, and my heart's broken because it was like this, like, always my favorite card room. It was literally a 3-card poker room located in between a packed sports bar and a bowling alley. And like,
oh my God,
the drunk characters and the stories I have of people pissing on ATM machines and
3 tables, you mean?
Yes, 3 poker tables. And it was it was bizarre. Like the stories I have for you in there, it's people fucking on the balcony. I mean, like, you don't even understand the stories I have of like insane, like stuff that you like, that doesn't happen in real life, only in movies, but no, it happened. But I knew a guy, there was a guy that would come in there who was actually homeless. He was homeless, like literally homeless, like literally lived on the streets. And he would come in and he would play nuts all in poker. And I mean, when he had aces pre-flop under the gun, he's just all in. I'm all in. And if I flop the nut straight, I'm check raising all in. And if I turn the nut straight, I'm all in. And it's crazy playing that way made him money. He survived. He ate food. He like literally survived by playing that way. By literally just playing like nuts, the nittiest of the nits of all the nits in the history of the world, making actually a pretty decent living because we'd be playing there on a Friday night and some people drinking in and coming in don't know him. Like, oh, I got 2 pair on the turn. I'm gonna call you. Oh, you have the nuts. Oh, dang. But like, the point is, like, there's so many different playing styles that can make money in the game. So it's interesting to see like players on one side of the spectrum just playing super ABC, winning 3 big hands every 5 hours, making money in cash games. And then you guys, you got the laggy sickos, like the no fear, I'm gonna 4-bet you with nothing. Just it's crazy over the years. Because I've been playing professionally for like 16 years now, and seeing that wide range of like this player to that player, and the fact that both of these guys can both make money, it's a very fascinating thing. And it's also interesting hearing like 2 guys that are very good just completely disagree with like, no, you should never 3-bet there. No, you should always 3-bet there. Like it's such an poker is such an interesting game.
It's great that it's not solved. So that homeless man you would say is one of your role models in shaping your game. Like you realized he can have a high quality of life, just not peddling or whatever.
Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah, no, that is a cool thing. Yeah, those games, that's what's like. It's like there's so much money to be made if people are just if it's between 2 bowling alleys. And when you said people having sex, I pictured 2 guys both angry at like smoking a cigarette, and one of them like beat the other in a pot, and they just like angrily are having sex on the balcony smoking a cigarette.
You would.
But so yeah, I would. Yeah. So wait, did you start like when did you decide you were a pro? Were you playing mostly cash games or tournaments? I don't even know.
So I played like cash games online, and it's funny, like my story is basically, I'll make it as fast as I can because it's about you and not me, but turned $50 into $3,000 online when I was 18 in like 3 weeks, lost it all because I was playing like, I started off at like 25 cent, 50 cent, $50, and then I was playing 3-6, $600 in like 3 weeks. And then I lost it all in one night on Monkey Tilt and was sobbing and crying as an 18-year-old. And then did the exact same thing again like 6 months later, turned $50 into 3,000 in 3 weeks, lost it all in one night. And I'm like, I'm never playing poker again. I'm done. And then didn't play poker for a year. Freshman year of college, 19, I had like $200 to my name, literally $200 to my name. Put it online, played cash games. I played for literally... So from Friday evening at 5 until Sunday night, I slept like 5 hours, didn't eat, didn't shower, hardly slept. I built up to 5K and then started going on Monkey Tilt. Just like fucking, I think I got like kings against aces against the guy that was raising her hand. Went crazy, was just playing $400 in a limit, went down to 3K, and I was like, okay. If you would have told me on Friday night that I was going to turn this 203K, I would have said, hell yes. So I cashed it out. Took a week off, and then slowly built it up. By the end of my first semester at college, I built it up to like 15K, dropped out of college, and then a friend of mine actually showed me SharkScope, and I didn't know SharkScope was a thing. And I had played a lot of sit and goes, and I had like this like perfect bottom left to top right like sit and go graph, and I was like, oh my God. So then, and then I also didn't know you could play more than 3 or 4 tables at a time, so then I started mass tabling, and I literally was just a sit and go player, and I turned $100 into 100K over like 4 or 5 years and didn't have a losing month ever, and was just playing 15 tables of sit and goes for 5, 6, 7 years, and that's how my come up was a thing. So that's
were you self-taught, like you
totally
just learned?
Self-taught.
That's
totally
amazing.
Self-taught.
That's so cool.
100% self-taught. In fact, I was actually playing. It's interesting now, like when I play sit and goes, like thinking about the things I was doing. It's crazy that I was like, I was doing like, if you'd see the strategy I was using, it was crazy. A lot of raise folding with hands that should be like a really good shove. I was like raise folding and just playing so careful and self-taught. So it's interesting again, like how many playing styles there are.
Yeah. Were you intuitively doing stuff that's now a thing? Like you mean? Because I was listening to, I forget who, talking about that recently, that these guys who used to just figure it out or whatever, like you or anyone who's self-taught sort of, it's like there's things that you discover later, like backed by some computer thing when the pile wave comes out. Like, you mean it was a good move you were doing, or that it was horrendous?
I don't know, because I was like the number one single player back then, but now I look at it, it's like God. Like, I mean, it's
Well, the game
crazy.
has changed too. Like, yeah, I
It
guess even
has.
if it could have been excellent back then and then horrendous
Oh, it'd
now,
be
you know,
horrendous
it's
now. I mean, I was like, I
how bad do you
I
think
don't want
you'd
to say
be
the stuff I was
if
doing
you
because it's so bad now. Like, I
wait,
would.
if you played if Loncar and 18-year-old, 19-year-old sat down now, like gave you 100K, well, I don't know, like
Oh, I
how
think
many big blinds per 100 you losing or whatever. I don't
I think
know.
I'd be a losing player. Well, because the game back then was so different. I mean, so different.
Yeah,
Like,
that's why I'm saying that. I don't mean it as a
yeah, no,
diss.
no. If you put my game back then, 15 years ago, in today's game, I would just get wrecked. I mean, wrecked, because back then the game was like, wow, you're really getting it in for 100 big blinds with queens. I mean, really, queens? Like, it was like that though, because like when everyone else is really tight, it changes ranges and it changes everything. So like today's game is mind-blowingly more aggressive and loose on, especially on like what's standard now compared to back then what was standard. Because obviously everything's standard based on what everyone else is doing. So like if everyone
Right.
else is extremely tight, then you can be tighter and win. Whereas like today, you're just gonna get ran over hard, and it's such an it's that's another crazy thing to me, is like how much the game has changed in the last 15 years. It's kind of mind-boggling, really, how the aggression level has just gone so hardcore high compared to what it used to be. Even like
Yeah.
the standard Joe of like in the middle of like tight and laggy is like way laggier than like you'd have been the laggiest player ever 10 15 years ago, because everyone played just a lot tighter and like didn't three bet all these different hands, and like three bet four bet bluffs weren't a thing. You know, four bets back then were just like, what do you got, aces or kings, like maybe queens? You know, like such a different game, man. Such a different game. It's and that's been interesting, like kind of evolving with the game and having to adapt to the game changing, for sure. It's been interesting.
How
But yeah,
much live poker like have you were you playing then, or like when did you?
so I really hardly played any. I didn't play a lot of live, and then when Black Friday happened, I moved to Vancouver, got Supernova Elite on PokerStars, and then moved back to the States in 2012, and I was just playing nothing but live cash for like 5 or 6 years. And I mean,
What stakes?
I was playing pretty much like super deep 1, 3, and 2, 5, like, you know, anywhere between like $1,000 and $3,000 buy-in type of games. Um, but yeah, I mean, I've always said that's the easiest way to make a living if you're a poker player. There's no doubt that like the easiest way to play poker for a living is with live cash games. It's not even close. Like,
Yeah, people
I know players honestly aren't that good. They're just not. They're really not that good. But they just never bluff. Super disciplined. Super patient. Wait for idiots to pay them off, and they make their hourly, and they go home. And yeah, it's just like, I feel like I could teach a monkey to play how they play. Honestly, like, you know, like
It's true. No, it sounds that's it's I was shaking my head because that sounds so boring. It's the least
very
fun type
boring.
of poker. Like,
Oh no,
but
very
yeah,
boring.
you can make so much money. Yeah, I forget how bad people live are. And this is why live pro, like I was talking to a kid in Hollywood, and sorry if he sees this, but I was playing like 510 or something for a video. I normally wouldn't be playing that, but and I was just like talking to him, and he was doing it for a living, and he like never really study. Like he was just like, yeah, I don't really study, I don't like look at that, like, and over time it's like I've realized it's like, oh, maybe he doesn't need to because he's playing against homeless Charlie, you know, or whoever the fuck, like
No, it's true.
or
It's all about game selection. I mean, really, I mean, I've got friends that moved to Houston a number of years ago, and all they do is just play in these like $50,000 buying games against oil billionaires who suck, and they're really not that great. But they somehow found a backer and found a way into these games where you're just playing against guys that just don't know how to
yeah.
play, and you're playing for like life changing money on every pot, and they make millions of dollars every year, and they're not even that great in my opinion. So like,
Yo, that's why I
it's
believe Dan
crazy.
Blazarian. That's why I believe him. Not that he made his money originally from poker. Obviously, he made his money from being a trust fund kid. But the second part of his story, where he's saying because of his richness, this is me filtering through his lies when he
Yes.
was on Doug Polk show, is that because of his richness, he had access to the softest, biggest games ever, and because he can put two and two together, he made a ton of money in that, and that totally makes sense to me and is believable, you know.
Yes.
Even though he's lying about the very start of it, it doesn't matter. Like allegedly, I don't want to get sued. Fuck you, Blazarian. But Yeah, game selection is real. It's just not fun to sit there and fold. But
No.
but who cares?
No, I mean
Either way, yeah.
cash games are boring to me. I think tournaments are so much more fun, so much more like
Yeah, when did you
cutthroat. I can
switch?
turn a little bit into a shit ton of money. Like I like the first place like trophy. I'm gonna take all the chips aspect. I've always loved tournaments so much more than cash games. It's so much more exciting, and the competition aspect is so much better.
Are you looking forward to WSOP this year?
Yeah, I was actually, someone asked me that last night or a couple days ago on a stream. What are your plans for this summer for Vegas? Are you gonna go out there all summer? What are your plans for WSOP coming up?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna be there most of it. I have like a wedding June 11th, and then besides that, I'm gonna be there basically the whole time.
Wedding June 11th. Congrats again, man. That's so
Oh,
awesome.
not me.
Oh,
Sorry.
do you guys have what's?
Wedding to attend, I should say.
You guys.
We don't have a date. We've been slacking, bro, because she doesn't want to be pregnant in her wedding photos. I don't even know all these silly reasons. We're trying to live in sin, basically, and have a kid before we get married, I guess. But we keep debating just going to City Hall because we're like effectively married and want to go. We don't want to spend all the money on that when we want to do stuff at our house. But whatever, I don't know.
So let's talk about your personal life a little bit. Let's talk about your fiance Katie and whatnot. How did you guys meet? How long you guys been together? Tell us all about you guys.
All right. Well, we met on OkCupid, which is the best dating site, I think.
It's like a Tinder site.
Yeah, but it's a perfect balance, or it was at the time. I don't know what it's like now, where it's like not and if anyone out there is grinding dating sites, it's very demoralizing. But so it's a perfect sweet spot where it's not these like there's a barrier to entry. It's free. So it's not like eHarmony where you need to be very desperate and then the pool is going to be like people on their last legs of life, like not doing that great, right? They're paying $100 a day to be on the site. They're desperate. That's too far desperate way. But Tinder is these flaky ass fucking bitches who just sit there like the Queen of England and just like sign up with no effort. They have no intention of really meeting up with anyone. And they're just like, oh, he's cute. He's not. He's cute. But they don't really fucking give a fuck. OkCupid was perfect in my experience. A little bit having fun before Katie and actually finding Katie. But after that, it's like the perfect in between where it's free, but you have to actually fill out some things and it's a little bit more. And then the more questions you answer, it's totally optional. The higher percentage they can match you.
So it's a little more like you're trying to find something serious. It's not like it's
well, it can be. It's both.
Okay.
There's like choices on there, but yeah, for like it's a good, you could just go and fuck bitches if you bitches. Guys, you could fuck dudes.
Wow. So you guys met through OkCupid, and you just hit it off right off the bat?
She flaked the first date, and I was like, "Yo, fuck her!"
Wow.
Like the day of, actually, like she was actually sick. It turned out, and then I was like, "Whatever." But I was like, "Yo, done." And then a couple months later, and we joked that I needed a little bit more time to ripen before I was ready to court her, but which very well may be true. Needed to be a little bit more mature, perhaps. She hit me up on Instagram because I was like, yo, done. Fuck you. You don't show up that day. Why would I'm not wait? I don't care how hot I think you are. Fuck off. But she hit me up on Instagram like months later and was like, hey, would you want to go out again? I'm like, yeah, sure. Like, okay, yeah. Since she came to me. And then yeah, we had an awkward I was very nervous first date where the place I wanted to go to was like closed for some private fucking party. So we went to this Irish bar in Manhattan and I ate like fucking CC's pizza, whatever bullshit they serve there. And then there's around 4 years ago. So it's right around the same time my YouTube channel started. She reminded me yesterday that on our second date, I was manically talking about how excited I was for my YouTube channel that had like 82 subscribers at the time. And then yeah, we hit it off. I don't know. And then yeah, now we have a house together and like I said, re-entering for a baby.
Nice. That's awesome, man. It's so cool looking at that. It's like you met her right when the YouTube channel was just starting to get going, and
both came at the same time.
Both the YouTube and her are just better than ever, and that's awesome.
Yeah,
man.
I'm like a rapper. I'm like I could be like, when the channel super blows up, I'll be like a rapper who has like not you like a pre-filtered non-trophy wife because they were with them before,
Yes,
like
before you blew
non-gold
up.
digger.
Yes.
Yeah, she could still be trophy, but I'm fucking around. I don't know, dude. It's great. I'm lucky for her, and we balance each other, even though we're both city people and New Yorkers, and can get a little more maybe aggressive in communication than we would if we were from other places. And then we uh like everything's great though, but we're a little crazy.
So where do you guys live exactly? Are you where do you guys at in NYC?
New Jersey, I bought a house last July in and live in New Jersey.
Okay.
Um like I'm too paranoid about security to say the town yet, but it's like south of Staten Island. There's a bunch of Guidos here who fucking escaped um like from Brooklyn to Staten Island to here. And yeah, it's cool. I've been able to play the online sites. We're closer to her family, like my nieces and her brother. There are a lot of reasons. We wanted the space. She's a nurse, now about to be a nurse practitioner. I'm an internet clown and America's Card Room ambassador. So we could both work from anywhere. We were like, yo, why are we paying $3K a month to live in a 1 bedroom in Manhattan when she could switch job locations, and I wanted the space to make videos and
Yeah.
do
Save
whatever it
some
is I
money
do
too.
here, and play online on the legal sites, which are horrible, but play on ACR, guys.
That's right. That's right. And not only an ACR ambassador, but like Ghost of M just said there in the chat, just seen on the Associated Press wire, Ryan Depaulo announces OkCupid's new dating ambassador. That's going to be a thing soon after the show now.
Yo, Katie was saying, right after, she's like, yo, we should fucking, when you get bigger one day, approach them, be like, yo, we met there.
Here's the feel good story. Yeah, that's awesome.
The algorithm worked too. We were like 90 something percent match. Like she might have been the highest in my thing because if you answer more questions, the more matched you get.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. But
Nice.
I don't know if people give a shit about my personal shit.
No, this is what I like to hear more than anything. I like to hear the personal touch and the stuff that you don't really see on the YouTube channel. But so talking about YouTube now though, so you just hit 100,000 subscribers yesterday. Congratulations again. That's amazing.
Thank you.
What are your future visions of the channel, and how do you plan on keeping it growing? And do you have any kind of spoilers or anything at all you can give us as to anything spicy coming up, or what are your thoughts and visions with moving forward?
Yeah, well, I'm pretty bad at planning ahead videos, honestly.
You're go with the flow.
Yeah, or like make them all spastic and then shoot. But I do have a loose plan. Like I needed help editing, so I have a couple of people helping me now to hopefully up production. My plan, I think now that I've hit 100K, and I was watching a thing with Fedor Holtz yesterday where he was giving a little lesson, and there was a streamer there, and he said to him what I think is true for me. He's like, yo, get better at poker and all the other shit will come so much better too. I think that I'm gonna take a period, we're still making some videos, but really try to really actually get better at poker again. Like I said before, I go in like periods, and I've been in a mostly YouTube period for a while recently, but I need to study, and I really want to like learn poker more. And then I actually have something to, like share. Like I always can fuck around and make videos and have fun, and I will, but like, I think like, I'm in the poker world. I'm playing poker. It's part of my job and I love it. And I think that I want to spend time like really studying for a little while and getting good and prepping for the WSOP. And then obviously vlog all that and stuff.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
But I had a really bad World Series last series. I learned it was my first time being there live, and I got really wrecked. Like I didn't take days off because I was too excited to play every day. Everybody warned me. Every fucking person I've ever met was like, you need to build in days off. And I was like, I hear you, but I can't.
You just wanted to go. You just like, why would I take
just
a day off
wanted
when
to
there's
go.
another $1,500 bracelet I could win today? Yeah.
Literally, exactly. And it was such a mistake, I think. And I don't know, like the mental part of it, which I'm not great at, but it really like
people don't talk about that enough, really. I mean, I've always said that's my best attribute. I might not be the best player, but I do feel like I'm in the upper echelon of like mental game. That's such a big thing. It's such a big thing.
You are great at that. And I see it when you stream because, and someone like me or anyone who can get overly emotional or impulsive or
It's tough.
punty, it's
It's tough.
such a risk because it's like golf, dude. It's like, I always say tournaments, it's like a round of golf. It could be going great, but if you fuck up one hole, your thing is done. You cannot win the tournament. You know what I mean? You're
Yep.
out. Like
Yep.
if you totally blast off or get impulsive or don't think through a decision, and like that can happen if you like let yourself tilt or you're tired or cranky or whatever is going on with you, right? um so it's like I don't really have a solution, but I know the problem.
And Poker Ray's in the chat. Yo, thanks for the love, brother. He says, crazy to hear Ryan says he still needs to study after everything he's accomplished. Much respect for the transparency of the game. I mean, there's always levels. There's always levels. Like, I guarantee, like, Phil Ivey, who just got back in the mix as of late, I think he was talking like how he had to, like, kind of restudy to get back up, and now he's crushing. Like, the game's always evolving, and you can always get better no matter what you're doing. Unless you're fader holes, then you don't need to. But
Yeah, then
other
you're
than
just
that,
a god.
but
It's
yeah,
Dunning
man.
Kruger. It's the more you learn, the more you know, the more you realize you don't know. Like talk about this Land and Tice sometimes. Just the more I learn, the more I realize I don't know anything.
Yep.
And then like whatever, I don't know. It's fun though. It's cool. It's like, if I thought that I had it, then it's kind of like, well, I don't actually never I don't want to say that, but it's like it's a catch 22 where you're sort of fucked once you think you have it. I guess it's like getting sober. I'll say that. It's like once you think you got it, you don't got it. You know what I mean? It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
like poker, there is no finally I have a game. That, I mean, unless you're going to go play live 1-2, but it's like you'd never get better with that mentality, right? So yeah,
No, it's good to always be evolving. It's good to always be evolving.
you
Marcelo
fucking
Silva in the
have
chat.
to.
He says it looks like. Oh, he says, did you meet Katie in a parking lot? Looks like you were very lucky at a parking lot. I don't know how we skipped over that. So let's talk about that. I gotta have. So I had so much respect for you when I heard that you won the bracelet in a parking lot, because I've played on my like laptop on a hotspot like so many times, or like I know I shouldn't say this, but like driving and playing with the laptop on the passenger seat, which I've been told I can't film that anymore because I'll get my Twitch banned. But and just joking, just totally joking, Twitch. I don't ever do that ever. I've never done that in my life. Just joking. But yeah, like I had so much respect for you when I saw that, because I've had so many experiences where like internet's out, race to the grocery store Wi-Fi. Like I actually played on a grocery store Wi-Fi one time, and I've played at coffee shop Wi-Fi's, and like I got crazy stories with the laptop. And so tell us about how that happened. And for those of you that don't know, Ryan Depaulo was playing a World Series of Poker online bracelet event on his laptop. Tell us all about that story for those that don't know, and even for those that do know, I'm sure you'll hear a detail or two that you don't know about this story.
Yeah, it's
There it is.
it's
That's so sick.
it's yeah. So it was 2020 COVID year, like
Yep.
they did only online events, and you needed to physically be located in Nevada or New Jersey to play. You didn't need to live there. You just have to, your body
Got to
needed
be
to be
within the
there.
state of New Jersey or Nevada. You were in New Jersey, obviously.
Right. You can't fake it though. People ask like, why didn't you VPN? You can't. These sites, there's no like some sites you can. They
were on it.
you won't win. They were on it, and I'm pissed off because I live like I could probably get a long enough uh like auxiliary cable or whatever the fuck it's called to run it to Jersey. Like I could see it from my apartment.
This is when you were living in New York. You were close
In
to
Manhattan.
Jersey.
Yeah. I'm right over the water from New Jersey, living in Manhattan. And I'm like, I've been playing these events, but I was like, yo, I don't even want to book a hotel room because they start at like 6 p.m. So I'm like, yo, I had a rented car for this. I was like, yo, I'm gonna rent this car and then not book a hotel because I'll probably just lose. And then if I bust at like 11 p.m., I want to sleep at home. I don't want to sleep in a fucking hotel. So I go drive over the bridge. The first place I try to set up, thank God I couldn't play there because I would have been stranded with no ability to get food or anything. But it was thought I was still in New York because I was right on the water and I was far from the next exit. So then I just typed in parking lot, pull over to the next lot, and it happened to be like this one with the Whole Foods and other stores. If I knew the Whole Foods would have become the bit from it, I might have picked a funnier store. I mean, I never thought I'd win. Also earlier that day, I had bought a converter because I had done this a couple times earlier in the series and just played it on my phone, like one or two events. So I bought a little plug-in thing to power the computer through the whatever cigarette thing, whatever. And my hotspot's now not working on the phone, so I have to connect to their Wi-Fi. And yeah, it was like a horrible setting early on. I had like no chips. I was down to like 1/3 starting stack, and I had my skateboard in the back seat. Saw kids skateboarding in the parking lot. I'm like, let me get fresh air. I played them in a game of skate. Why like double up with my minimum stack? I really don't have hope. I'm on my like 4th bullet. I had to call actually their customer service to be able to deposit enough for the final bullet.
Oh wow! And what was the
Because
buy-in?
500, and it was like
500.
max 3, but all my deposit methods had been maxed out because I'd lost everything up until it was like the 12th day.
Okay.
And so I like had to call them, be like, yo, open up my PayPal, and they're like, oh, okay, like just in time.
Wow.
And if you don't rebuy in time on that site, you cannot re-enter. So anyway, I'm playing skate, double up, go back to the car. I'm like, I'm vlogging this though, but I'm like, just in case, I don't know. I make all the vlogs I film. Anyway, the Wi-Fi in the place cut out. This is really the biggest thing that's not in the vlog of this is that every hour it would boot me off and I'd have to reconnect. And I had to switch to the phone, but I'd always miss a hand when that happened. Like every hour that the strip malls, the Wi-Fi would boot me off and reconnect. And I would know when this time was coming, and it affected my play. One hand specifically, I remember I was in the hijack with ace king off, and I just jammed 17 big blinds because I sensed that Wi-Fi boot me off time was coming.
You can't risk min raising, and now you just don't even get to play the hand. You might as well just shove it.
Yeah, but I didn't know when the time actually was. I was just like, it might be soon, jam, and then I like reload it. It was a mess, dude. And then 3-handed. This was also not in the vlog, and the craziest shit. And I always tell this when people ask me about it, like in interviews or whatever. It's like the Wi-Fi completely kicked me off. It's like 5 and 6 in the morning maybe now, so I think they're like just done for the day or reset. I don't know, but whatever, it shut me out. I switched to the phone. The fucking app, I feel it now, about to have a mental breakdown, like again, because it 3-handed. I couldn't do anything more than min raise. My app thought that I was playing limit hold'em. I'm not exaggerating. Like
and for the viewers out there, you're 3-handed, guaranteed about how much at this point?
God, I don't even know. Probably 56K.
Guaranteed like 50 or 60. And first place was
159. So maybe, it was like
$100,000 difference between 3rd and 1st. And you're in a parking lot, and the sun's coming up, and you can't even play properly because the internet connection and the laptop, and I can't even imagine the emotions going through that right there.
Dude, I've never screamed so loud. I don't think somebody had 12 big blinds. I think one of the 3 of us. It was awful, I played like 9 hands like that, I was like fucking like, it was great out. I was like, what the fuck, like freak. And I've never had that glitch happen ever again since, or like, I mean, I don't even play on the phone, their apps, but it was crazy. And then luckily I got back on the computer, dude, and they eliminated each other. But that was terrifying. Like I tried a 3-bet rejam, and it just min clicked him from 1.2 mil to 1.8, and I was like, it was grayed out. I whatever.
Wow.
But it all worked out, the poker gods, whatever. I don't know.
It worked out. You took first for what, 150,000, 160,000?
Yeah, dude, it's so crazy. And then I realized what a hilarious thing it was after, where it's like Google myself sitting there after, and it's like Depaulo wins bracelet and lot, and I'm like, oh, that is funny, like degenerate game, like that is on brand or whatever. Like,
that is so perfect. No, that was so perfect.
I like that you played while driving. I mean, allegedly. I'm proud of you. I'm glad to hear that. These are things that only online poker players could relate to, like having to run through your house, I'm sure, with emergencies with children, like on the laptop in your underwear while trying to take a shit and like handle a screaming baby, like. But
oh my god, like so many crazy stories like that. Seriously, so many crazy stories like that. Only online players know. Only the online players know the struggles.
I know, and I feel like such a crazy person when like someone's doing housework or delivery, and I'm like not making eye contact with them, like holding the laptop, just being like, like they must think I'm like.
Oh, that's the funniest things for me is the times I haven't done it in a while. I need to do it again. It's due time. I'm way overdue for this, but I love playing online while I'm doing my grocery shopping. Like I like Luke in the car. I haven't done it in like a year, but like have Luke in the cart, got my laptop in the cart, like going around on my mobile hotspot, getting groceries. It's obviously it's a long grocery trip. It takes me like 30-40 minutes. This is like an hour and a half. Because
Yeah,
I'm, like,
every
playing
decision
hands.
you're stopping in the middle of an aisle.
People come up to me like, yo, are you playing poker right now too? And now it actually got to the point, I was doing it for a minute. I stopped doing this like a year or so ago because of reasons. But it got to the point where like I would always go to Walmart and like certain employees would be like, oh, what are you playing today? Like they already knew what I was doing. It's super funny.
Well, are the reasons like how did you get there and back home?
Yes, that's me. That's the main reason. That's the main reason. I got an Uber, guys. I swear I got an Uber. I swear.
I could picture, dude. It would take me an hour to shop at Walmart while playing, for 2 things. Like I'd stop every decision.
But yeah, man, it's funny the different things we do with online poker, and it's definitely degenistry at its finest.
Yeah, you know what I want to do is call out somebody like call the floor just to be a dick one time when you're at a live table and someone's playing on their iPad like a cash game or something, and then just be like, no phones while you're in the hand, sir. Please, floor, call him and make him have to choose between the hand we're in or his phone hand. It'd be like, yo, like one of them is gonna be dead.
Take your pick. Take your pick. So,
but that's scum.
There was a question that was asked way back in the chat that I kept in my mind because I thought it was an interesting question. I didn't know this, but someone asked. Let me see if I can find it here. Why is Katie no longer? Oh, there it is. Can you please ask him why Katie is no longer in his YouTube videos anymore? We all miss Grumpy Katie. LOL. Is there something to that? Is there something like she's like? Because I think it can be said for like a lot of people, let alone girls, of just like the spotlight and like how do you is there any kind of struggle? This is probably my most interesting question for you today. Is there ever a struggle of like privacy and like wanting to because obviously like you're a YouTube vlogger and like you're putting yourself out there, and obviously I think every human wants to have that certain type of like amount of privacy and like protection, and like is there anything going on with that, or is there any struggle with that? And
there's a couple things I've learned. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but there's a few things. So first, it was like I've had to learn that one I've learned from her that like when she would be like, yo, show me at first it was like, show me the footage you're putting of me in there before you do, and she'd be looking for like how
which is what every girl in the world is going to ask that. Like every girl in the world is going to say, let me
And I didn't understand why though, but she was like, yo, read the comments. Like when it's about me, it's about half of them are about my body. And then I realized looking at even just like any female poker players, like YouTube or whatever it is, it's like, women get all the comments are about them physically. Of course she has a right to be worried about that. And even if it wasn't the comments about that, she has a right to do what it's fucking her in the video. But so I learned that, had that adjustment. And then, just like her being that, but really the main reason lately is because she's she's getting her license to be a nurse practitioner and start like being the nurse practitioner doing a real job or a career or whatever. And so not that she didn't have one before, but she was worried. Like there was one like Jew joke that I made or that she laughed at that like we had a big debate about, where it was like she's like, I don't want that in. I was like, it's funny, I want to keep it in, which is so fucked up of me to even like argue. It's like I don't need I should have, and I do now, just like snap, respect her wishes of keeping it separate. And so because of the lack of PC-ness in general, it's just been easier. She just like don't it's not a firm thing because she appeared quickly in my last video and she'll be in them sometimes, but like as far as like being in it more, I think it's just for her own protecting her
stuff,
but less privacy and more because of the awful shit I sometimes say.
Totally understandable. Let's go into my favorite segment of the show right here, right now. The question and answer segment. And this might be the best question and answer segment ever. So if you guys have any questions for Ryan, ask away in the chat. And really, really quick, I'm going to switch over to an ad from one of our sponsors. So we'll be back in 30 seconds. You guys type away, keyboard warriors. Ask your question. Now's your time to ask Ryan. I'll be back in 30 seconds.
Just America's card room. We're the world's card room. A place where everyone comes together to play the game we all love. We are all unique. all competitive, and all striving to be the best. But at the end of the day, through thick and thin, we are all in together.
America's Cardroom. America's Cardroom commercial. Let's go. I'm actually really curious. Let me know in the chat. Was there volume on that? I hope there was. Hopefully that wasn't muted. But yes, so Seabass, easy question. Can you give us one parkour, Ryan?
Well, rusty, but yeah. Ugh. Wait, hold on. Not quite an air horn, but
there it is. Parkour.
Siren.
Parkour. So Label Guy says, what is your favorite video that you have made if you have one? It's a great question.
Probably either the story of my first poker tournament. Both of these don't really have many views because they're different than what I normally make, but it's like almost stop motion animation I made, where it's the story of my first poker tournament I ever played live at the Taj Mahal Midnight Madness. I think it's really funny story, and poker people like all get a kick out of it. And then maybe my Mike Postle rap, just because that was like fun to make a song and a music video.
That was a good one. Ghost of M. So is Ryan aware that there is another New Jersey player who is known as Joey the Mush before his videos featuring his own Joey the Mush? And has he ever met the other Joey the Mush? I did not know that.
Yeah, I don't know. I might have met him. I'm such a spaz, but I think I did meet him, and I was like, yo, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to steal. It happened to be Joey and the Mush also. I wasn't trying to take your shit. But yeah, there's an original Joey the Mush in Jersey. Luckily, our Joey the Mush is in Tennessee now, but he's international. But yeah, I didn't mean to steal the Joey the Mush. It's just unfortunate that they're both Joey and both Mushes.
There it is. I'm a little hesitant to ask this, but I love Mother Sucker so much, so I'm going to ask it. He says, hey, Ryan, would you let Bobo peg you, for the show? Is that like an inside thing? Or
For the bit? Yeah, it's Opie and Anthony, which is how we met. It's but yeah, I'd let him peg me if like for the bit,
Wow.
for the bit.
For the bit. Charlie McDennis, Mr. RDP. I keep punting all my poker winnings on slots. I know you're a slot fan. How do you keep from doing that?
Dude, I don't know. I don't have advice because in New Jersey, these legal sites, I had to delete the apps from my phone because like WSOP.com, all of them, I wish you could self-exclude just from that part of the fucking website. It sucks. Like I'll take a shit and just lose whatever I won that day or after Sunday session, my remaining balance in video poker. Texas is a good place to move because their card rooms are just in strip malls, so you don't have to navigate through slots on your way out. That's my best advice.
Move to Texas.
Move to Texas, yeah.
Easy answer. And on that note, kind of piggybacking on that, effing Mirage in the chat says, best advice for bankroll management. I am capable of winning. I've won five figures a couple of times in large online tournaments, but I struggle with keeping the bankroll intact. What do you have to say for that, Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, me too. I don't know. I can't really see. I'm lucky because of the way I don't want to give advice because I haven't had to do that because of the way that I have had a steady income, and part of it from America's Card Room is in tournament money. So yes, I've had a bankroll, but like I've mismanaged it if that were all it was and needed to grow only from poker, but I'm getting paid in buy-ins partially. So it's a weird thing for me where I don't really have the experience to like, help you with, but I would say like sell pieces if you can, or like just do swaps if you're playing tournaments, for sure. Like, just don't impulsively register too, actually, is like always like have a plan of what you want to play, what you think is a good thing. Don't like last minute do it. And for me, I've had to filter out, above 500s, like on ACR or whatever. Like I'm not playing 630 or 1Ks ever on there, for example. For me, whatever it is for you, like just try to really be honest with yourself of what level you're winning at and stick to that.
That's the best advice ever. That's the best advice ever. Map out, figure out what you're good at, figure out what you're comfortable playing with. Every time you put a schedule together, figure out like, okay, I'm going to put 2 buy-ins into this, 1 buy into this, map it out, and then have the discipline to stick with that. Great advice from Ryan. Ghost of M says, I know Ghost is from New Jersey and that whole area over there. He says, please ask Ryan if he remembers what the Irish bar he went on his first date with his girlfriend Katie was called. Do you remember the name of it?
I'm gonna get in trouble. I think the playwright. I'm pretty sure playwright. Yeah.
There it is. He's taking one for the team here, guys. You better appreciate that, Ghost. Seabass in the house. What's up, brother? He says, Ryan, do you plan on studying cash games and getting better at them?
Yeah, I do. I think that's what I need to decide. But I ran a script of some 100 big blind just to get started, like Sims. But yeah, I think that I am gonna study cash, and I think that it can't hurt my tournament game. And I know, yeah, the answer is yes. Yeah.
Hells yes. The Wawa Master. What's up, brother? He says, what would you be doing as a living if you didn't make it in poker? I mean, obviously I'd imagine, vlogging YouTube and stuff. But let's just say for this example, there's no YouTube vlog either. Take away your YouTube vlog. Take away poker. What would you imagine? Like, just snap if you had to, like, tomorrow, like, shit, what am I doing? What would you want to do for your profession?
Well, what I would do is go back to the box office and Broadway. Is a boring answer. Working in a good union job, even though I got fired from my theater for YouTube. He was like, "You care more about YouTube and poker than this." I was like, "What?" Anyway, but my dream would be to go to Florida and run a fraudulent phone room where we scam old people out of their Social Security checks. No, I'm joking. Fuck them. Fuck Florida. I don't know what I do. Be a sports touter, maybe be a scammer like that, like Vegas Dave or whoever the fuck. And that's also a joke. I don't know. If I like had no nepotism, that's the real question. If I had no nepotism, like union connections in Broadway, like jobs in New York City, Broadway theaters through my family, or no YouTube or no poker, I'd fucking probably start out with crime and then figure it out. Like, I don't know.
Ryan always keeps it real. What can we say? What can we say, man?
But I would never scam old people. I would never scam old people. I'd sell drugs if I'm going to do crime, probably for like,
Yeah. Always keeping it real. Always keeping it real. Yo, man. Well, thanks for coming on today, man. I've been looking forward to this for quite some time and always love seeing your success. And I'm looking forward to continue seeing your YouTube channel evolve and grow even more. And much love to you and Katie, and hope you guys pop out a little one soon. I know you guys are going to be great parents. And just congrats on everything, man. You've done a great job for yourself, and I wish all the happiness for you and Katie moving forward. And thanks again for coming on today, man. Appreciate you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, man. I'm excited to see you in person again soon.
Yeah. I'll see you. I'll see you at the Puncher's Pad in like a month or two. It's crazy. It's coming up
real soon.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, much love.
Thanks.
Ryan.
Thanks, man. Thank you, guys. Thanks, chat, guys. Thanks.
Much love, Mr. Ryan Depaulo. All of his links are in the chat. !guest. You can click on his YouTube link, his Instagram link, all the links. Make sure you check out his YouTube vlogs. He's one of the best. Ryan, it's a pleasure, my dude. I'll see you in a few weeks out in Vegas.
Thanks.
Later, brother. Mr. Ryan Depaulo, degenerate. That was a great one, man. Like I said, I've been looking forward to this one for quite some time. Ryan's one hell of a guy. He's a unique character. He's got the flair. He's got the personality. And obviously you need that to be a successful, popular YouTube vlogger. And like he was talking about earlier, I think he kind of said it perfectly. Like, obviously his channel now is focused on gambling and degeneracy and poker, but a lot of it is just him. It's a lot of him. I think the number one reason that he really shines on the YouTube streets and he's so popular is just because he's just one unique, awesome guy, and his personality shows, and I love how he just has zero F's given all the time. I love the attitude he has, and he's got a great sense of humor, and obviously, like he was saying, he puts a lot of hard work and time and blood, sweat, and tears in his editing and trying to make it his own thing and adding that personal touch. And yeah, this was a great one. Jay Pena, thanks for the love, guys. This was great. He's very authentic. That's the word. Ryan's very authentic. He's got that New York brashness to him, but you can tell he's also got that soft spot. He's a great human being. And once again, !guest for all of Mr. Ryan Depaulo's social media links: Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, and of course, RyanDepaulo.com. Yes, sir. Thanks to all of you for being here. It's been a great episode of Loncar Live as always. Shout again to Mr. Ryan Depaulo for coming on tonight. Adios, guys. Much love. If you liked this video, make sure and give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, which is free, and don't forget to click the bell, which will let you know when any new video has been uploaded to my YouTube channel. If you want to catch my streams live, I'm currently streaming all day Wednesdays and all day Sundays over at twitch.tv under the username Loncar Poker. Thanks for watching.